Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first speed build of Prehistoric Kingdom Alpha. Today we are going to start easily off with a Edmontosaurus habitat, and stick with me because it's going to be very interesting to talk over all these different things I discovered during this build. And also, if you are interested in my opinion of the alpha so far, and, having played around like 4 hours of this game now, this is going to be very interesting during the video. And in the end, towards the end of the episode, we will go actually into the park file to show you what I've been up to. You can see Rexy over here, by the way. This is just... the reason why, because I put it in my stream just to see all the dinosaurs. You can see I'm basically putting all of them in just to have a test during the time, but this is going to be an Edmontosaurus habitat, and I also do have another species in there which I'm not going to pronounce over here because I will totally mess that up. We will actually check this one out during the real-time part at the end. So don't expect like something fancy over here. This is going to be happening for the T-Rex. I do actually have a quite nice idea for a T-Rex habitat, which is going to stretch the creative muscles a little bit more. But this one over here is rather simple to see what we can do with the building system. So for those of you who are familiar with the Planet games, you will grow to love this system in the span of some seconds, I would say. The reason why I say so is basically because this is a very familiar system when you have played the Planet games, but it just comes with a whole bunch of improvements. They definitely did learn from what Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster have done, and they improved it tremendously, to say the least. It's really, you can see the gizmo over here is pretty much similar. However, it's very much closer to a 3D modeling program. You do actually have not only the different axis arrows, you also have these little rectangle icons very close to it, where you can actually move it on 2 axes at the same time, which is crazy. But what you can see very much more better now is there is a scaling option for nearly every single item in the game. That means you do have a rather small choice of pieces at the beginning, but that doesn't really mean too much, because this choice of pieces is actually increased a whole bunch by the fact that you can rescale it and use different textures. And remember, this is only an alpha stage of the game. That means there is so much more to come. This is just the beginning, just a very bare bone sets of pieces, and you can do already so much with it. You can see how easily you can also scale groups. It's not only, you can not only scale single items, no, you can basically scale entire groups. And after I had a little bit of a stretch at the beginning to get used to it, it makes your build so much faster and so much better. It's really, really good. The gizmo also seems to be working pretty perfectly fine, and it's not broken as it is in the Planet games, where I think it's basically in the core system and there's not much hope that it will be fixed anyways. But this one over here does work as it should, and yeah, you can actually tell that also one pretty great thing I do love, and I really hope it's not gonna have too many impacts on the performance in the later stages, because the performance, I must say, is not really that amazing, but it's an alpha, so I'm not going to judge it upon that. It is running pretty smoothly on my system, but that's not really the fair testing system, because it's amongst the best systems you can have. The only thing which is not peak performance is my graphics card, and it's still one of the best. So yeah, it's not fair to judge it upon my system, but I'm gonna judge it later. But as you can see, people do actually walk on every single item. You can see them running here on these stones, and I had a hard time figuring out how to not make them go there. So maybe I have to change the things a little bit later on to make sure that it works. I did some testing here and there, by the way, of some nature barriers and stuff. Also, the terrain editing tool comes with a lot of similarities. Similarities is very... It's familiar and similarities. I wanted to say familiarities. That's the merging of similarities and being familiar. So you heard it here first. That's a new word, okay? We have some familiarities here between Planet Zoo and this game in terms of the terrain modification tool. The brush tool is very good. It's very, very similar. The only thing you can't do, and this is definitely something you have to give to the Planet games, because that it's just a little bit more stronger. You cannot make overhanging terrain. So that means basically, as you've seen a couple of seconds ago, whenever you dig something out, there's also going to be a hard crest or like a hard edge. It's not going to be like a tunnel or whatever. However, you can obviously use all the stones and stuff to create tunnels and stuff like that, so it's not really that big deal. Not really. So yeah, this is something I will investigate a little bit more into, and I have also no information if they are about to change it or not, but yeah, hoping so. One other thing that is absolutely fantastic is that you do not only have 4 different this is, by the way, a funny little glitch we had in between. We don't even have like 4 different terrain painting tools, or 6 or whatever. No, you have 4 per biome. That means we have, I think, 6 or 7 biomes in total, and multiply that by 4, and this is the amount of different ground textures you can work with. Some of them don't really blend nicely into each other. I think there's still a little bit of an issue here, which I guess they will pretty easily be able to fix, but you can work around these issues by using some other terrain again and then just paint over it many more times. But yeah, so another thing I want to talk about, because it's so cool. You can see I'm putting down the foliage over here now by hand, simply because I wanted to assemble that area in my own, you know, and being a bit more in control of what I'm doing. However, there's also a brush tool, which you will see in a bit. And honestly, this is one of the best ideas you can have. Having a brush tool helps you so much to get on speed and making sure that huge landscapes are filled in super quickly. But then if you have like certain areas that you want to have a bit more control over, you can easily do so by basically using the single pieces. So it's really, really dang cool to basically always switch between the brush tool and the other tool, like the single placement method. Also, you can see, for whatever reason, I could put the restroom into the water. But another very cool thing about this game is the pathing tool. The pathing tool is super close to what you're used to in Jurassic World Evolution, but it has a lot more functionalities, and it's super simple. And even though you can't build bridges, you can basically build bridges with the scenery items, because people are basically using them. So you don't really need bridges in that kind of sense, because you can do it. You can build stairs, you can build raised platforms, and people will basically use it according to the pieces you put down. I will test this a little bit further if this is going to be modular, working this way, and how good the pathfinding really is. Again, I have a little bit of the fear that this might actually hit the performance very hard in a later stage, because if all that AI has to be calculated, that could be super heavy on the system. But again, I don't really know how exactly that is. So yeah, we have a huge jump over here in the speed build, because I switched over to Twitch and I couldn't record, because again, the game is pretty heavy on computer right now, and hence I couldn't record during my live stream. So there is a little bit of a gap in between, but that's fine. So the speed build is not awfully long, because otherwise it would have been super long, because it took me a little bit to get on speed. But as you can see over here, I'm already a lot quicker here in placing down items, because I got the hang of it rather quickly. Not gonna lie, this worked out pretty quick. So it was really a pleasure to work with the tools after a little while. And this is also why I will potentially, if the baby lets me, or let's say not the baby, but my wife in this sense, she's still the one to follow here, do this today. I will actually, you know, go on with the T-Rex habitat, so you can see that in the next couple of days. I want to do a habitat for each animal first, and then we will definitely go into a bit more of a testing period, because again, this is going to be an alpha, and I guess one thing that helps the devs the most is if we stretch the boundaries of that game, and this is something I will definitely do. I will definitely go in and try some ridiculous stuff. I have some ideas, so stick with me, you know, sub to the channel if you haven't already. There's going to be some crazy stuff happening. I have some ideas. I tested some little things. I tested them yesterday already. It's gonna be ridiculous, but it somehow worked, so this is rather funny, and I will see how that turns out once I do it seriously and put some more time into it. But yeah, it's really cool. But you can see also, of course, you do also have a grid-based building if needed. I'm really not sure how often I will use that, but you can see you can then just, it's so simple. You can just choose the whole building and then, you know, just copy the pieces, rescale them and use them in different ways. It's like super simple. You can just go in and, you know, build these pieces that way. And you can make some cool looking stuff as that one over here. I'm just building like a different kind of roof just to have some backstage area, which by the way is just a little testing here. It's nothing crazy. And you can see I just made a roof out of like these individual pieces now, just scaling them. And I think the scaling will also help a bunch with the performance on a later stage of the game, simply because that will help a lot. You can also, as you can see, rescale entire groups, which again is just very cool. And there's just so much to love about that. It's insane. It's just ridiculous. Honestly, the control you have over the different things is absolutely fantastic. I will show you a few things in the real-time part in a couple of minutes, so don't worry about things you haven't been following in the speed build because it was too quick or something. We will actually go over the build now in-game, so you have a better idea of how that looks. And then I really hope you guys enjoyed the speed build so far. Please, I really need your help to, you know, to get all of your opinions in. Please let me know in the comments down below what you love the most about this game, what you are the most excited about, and maybe if you have played it already, maybe there's something you have uncovered already that is also brilliant. So what's your favorite thing about the game? Honestly, you know, also looking into it as it's being an alpha, I have to say it's a very solid alpha. I'm not gonna lie, this is some serious stuff over here, and they said it's more like a little demo rather than an actual game. True, there is not that much gameplay elements in here. This is the brush, by the way, but it's very solid. Anyways, let's continue talking in the real-time part. I really hope you enjoyed the speed build so far, and we see each other at the other side of the cut. Alright, so here we are in the real-time part. You can see this is the finished habitat you are looking at. Cool bit over here is actually that the guests are just coming in, because whenever you reload a file, the guests are not in. So hopefully this time they won't move onto this rock thing over here. I really do hope that they don't do, but this was last time the little issue we had. And this is the finished habitat, as you can see. So I put Rexy over here, which is actually Karen, by the way. This is not Rexy, this is Karen. And this is the finished habitat. I have to say I'm quite happy with it. You know, there are a couple of things in here. We don't have waterfall pieces yet. I wanted to have this actually as a little waterfall, but we don't really have that yet. And so I just made sure that they have like a lovely little habitat. We have this separation area over here in which the guests have a nice, safe, viewing area. And I mean, obviously the dinos could actually go over here if they want, but they don't do this. So that's fine, I guess. And we have the different dinos just in all these different places. I guess this one over here, by the way, is not moving away from this spot. I'm just gonna put it somewhere else. Just to make sure that it's moving around again. I do have to do some other pieces in, but look at that. I mean, just look at this habitat. It looks absolutely fantastic. Also, let me just change the camera mode. There you go. It's all fun. It's the same camera mode as in Planet Zoo, by the way. So if I press T, I do move around like that, so focus point is in the middle, and I turn around. If I press T again, I basically rotate around my own axis, which is pretty dope because then you don't have to get used to a new camera movement. I think it's also pretty standard in nowadays games. But yeah, you can see like the graphics and stuff. I am a big fan of how they look close up. I'm not a big fan of how it looks in the background, so I really do hope they could bring in some background blurring or less heavy sharpening. I guess this is it. But you also do have control in a photo mode, and then it looks a lot better actually. So you do have this photo mode over here, and then you can change the field of view, which is pretty neat, and you can also change the time of day, which I love as well. And now the good thing happens, you can change the light angle, which I think is one of the best things for us creators, because that makes the whole thing so much more easy. I can also, what's also pretty cool is I can also put a time scale in and make like a, speed build and like this, and then you can see they're moving around quicker. So this is like 4 times now, but I can also go 0.5. You've got a slow motion timer, which is pretty cool. And I'm not even sure if I can just... Okay, I can't. Okay, I was about to say I want to disable the HUD, but there has to be a way to just... Wait a second. Because this could also be very nice for... We can make like a letterbox, like that's kind of cool. But I want to make sure that, and effects and stuff, field of view, it's all good. Time scale is 0.5 now, so they do still move. I want to just disable that over here. Can I somehow? No, but I hope I hope there's actually coming a... Okay, I took a screenshot here. I would love to be able to just quickly disable this HUD over here, so we can actually make some cinematics. That would be dope, making some cinematics in like slow-mo and stuff. That would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, we do have the hide interface option here, and we can make some slow-mos like that. But, you know, also I love the model, to be honest. The models look absolutely great. I mean, we can actually, you know, that's also like a pretty bonkers screenshot over here. Nice. That looks super sweet. But yeah, so I mean, just in general, this habitat, I guess I kind of nailed it in the way I wanted to have it. So it's not really like that I say this is the best habitat ever by any means. It's not. But the way, you know, getting to learn a game and stuff, I think this works pretty super nice. And, you know, if you look from over here, that just looks really, really good indeed. So you can actually have that. And yeah, just what I was saying, you can see this is a ramp I built totally out of scenery pieces, and the people are just using it. They just use everything. I haven't seen them going down here, to be honest. Oh well, they just do it for me. They just do it for me, because then they can go into Rexy's area here to have a look at Rexy. But this is not finished yet. I will make this look a lot better. So this is going to be the Rexy habitat, but I'll definitely go and make this a different habitat. So there's a good idea I have about this. So it was just a little testing, so don't take that too seriously. And yeah, I mean, this is the first habitat we built, and I think for, you know, for what it was, the first couple of hours, I think it looks really, really dang good. I would love to make like a good photo from over here, by the way. This is a cool spot, but oh, this is like the overview. Yeah, no, I don't want to go into that one. Okay, excuse me. There you go. Now can we just move down a little? Ah, this looks so good. Field of view. We can also just move all the way out. This looks so cool. So see, this is also nice, a nice little shot. It's just looking so good, not gonna lie. The game looks really good. It's not looking like super overwhelmingly good, but for an alpha, it definitely does the job. So I won't complain here. This is definitely for an alpha stage, absolutely fantastic. Let me see if we can change something about the light here to make it look a bit more interesting. That looks also like it's, I can change the sun direction. That's just so cool. You have like full control of what you do here. That's so cool. Like sun is coming from over here. You can change the time of day, make it look a bit more like this, you know, also the color scheme. And I guess, you know, the controls we will get later on here as well with fog and distance and stuff. They will definitely help to make that all look even better. So really, really, I am looking forward to all these controls we have. There's just so much to love about that, as I said. But yeah, I think this is all I wanted to do for the showcase. Again, can I also, let me check this together with you guys, if there's a way to change maybe the background a little bit here. So we can also, the VSync is okay. Let me just see. We have the anti-aliasing. I don't know if there is a better way of doing that, but you know, we just keep that all to ultra exposure compensation. Let's keep that on 0, I guess. Whatever. Screen space reflections, yeah, that's obviously something we leave in. I was just looking if there's like a way to have like background blurring, but it seems there isn't. Let's apply that real quick and have a little look. Oh boy, what did I even do? Okay, so this is definitely not looking as good as the TAA. Let me just do this again. What about the SMA? I have no idea how they... Okay, that looks also very sharp, too sharp. And TAA, I think this is the one where you would love to go with. Yeah, that's definitely the one looking the best, I guess. But yeah, so this is the habitat, and you can see they move pretty nicely in here. I'm not sure if we do have an overlay though, to be honest, to see where they can move. Doesn't seem to look like that. Is there like an overlay in here? No, wondering. Yeah, okay, you can't really see where they can move, but they seem to be able to move pretty neatly everywhere, so that's kind of nice. I also saw them lying down in water, actually, so it was also kind of nice. Anyways, this was it for the first episode. Now it got a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I got carried away here in the real time part. It's just too good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. And if you are not subscribed, you want to see more of Prehistoric Kingdom in the future, Planet Zoo, and all these kind of management building games, make sure to do so. There's much more coming. There's also something planned for my little baby break that is very close ahead. And anything else is already all planned ahead. So pretty cool. Now, I really hope you guys are staying safe, of course, in these times. Make sure also to enjoy your weekend. And then we talk in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.